Hello, Urbana, and welcome to this edition of It's All About You for March 2020. The 2020 census is approaching. April 1st, 2020 is when everyone in the United States needs to be counted. So today, we're with Alyssa Jaje, Community Development Specialist for the City of Urbana. Welcome, Alyssa.
Hi, Bridget. Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. Today, Alyssa's going to talk about things like, what is the census? When does the census happen? Who gets counted? Where do hard-to-count populations live? Why does the census matter? And how can you help? So, Alyssa, tell us about the census.
Yes, the census has been required by the U.S. Constitution since 1790. It takes place every 10 years, and it aims to count every person in the United States, the District of Columbia, and 5 U.S. territories. This year, Census Day is April 1st. It's actually April 1st every year. And you will be required to complete a 9-question form. You can do this form online, over the phone, or by mail.
Oh, okay. Oh, so tell us more about just the April 1st thing. When does the census take place? What are the actual, the rundown of it?
Yeah, so the official Census Day is April 1st, but you can complete your form well before that. So mid-March, we're looking around March 12th, you will receive your official census invitation in the mail, and this will have your address on there and a code for you to use when you're completing the form, especially online or over the phone. And then March 30th and 31st, we'll have census takers out in our communities trying to count the homeless population. And then April 1st is Big Census Day. Woo. And throughout the month of April, census takers will count anyone who's living in group quarters. So group quarters would be places like prisons or jails, dormitories, or nursing homes. And then May to July, census takers will be out in the community doing door-to-door knocking, and they'll be visiting homes that have not completed the census at all or may have skipped a question in their form. So they'll be doing follow-ups, and they can come to your house up to 7 times if you don't take the census. And then in December, official census results will be delivered to the President and Congress.
Oh, so who gets counted?
Yeah, so everybody gets counted. However, there's a lot of hard-to-count populations.
Right.
And hard-to-count populations would be communities or geographies that have had low response rates in previous censuses. So those include children under the age of 5. A lot of people just sometimes forget that there's a baby at home. It also includes highly mobile. So this would be students living on campus or young adults who maybe move frequently. Mm-hmm. If you're a student, you count at your campus address. You don't count at your home of origin, whether that's a country, whether that's a different city where your parents live. You count here in Urbana. And then it also includes racial and ethnic minorities, non-English speakers. I know a lot of the census information will be presented predominantly in English and Spanish, but you can complete the census over the phone in 59 languages and online in 13 languages. Low-income households are hard to count. Individuals experiencing homelessness, undocumented immigrants, or people who are not citizens. The citizenship question will not be asked. I know there's a lot in the media revolving around whether or not this question will be on the census form, and it will not be on the form.
I know there's a lot of concern about that.
There is. So it's not asked, you don't need to be a citizen, but if you're living in Urbana on April 1st, you count here in Urbana. And if you have some concerns, I recommend completing the census form entirely. Don't skip any questions. That will prevent somebody from coming to your house later on because They can come up to 7 times. So just complete the census. Nobody will know whether or not you're a citizen, and then nobody will also continue to come to your house.
So, okay, in Urbana, where do the hard-to-count populations live?
Yeah, hard-to-count populations would be predominantly areas with a lot of student housing or low-income neighborhoods. So most of Urbana is a hard-to-count population, which is challenging, but it's exciting because that means that we as city employees get to continue to reach out to you guys, make an effort, put our face in the community, and talk to you about the census. And
that's a good way to look at it, actually.
Champaign County has a complete count committee, so this involves cities, public health, the YMCA on campus, Regional Planning Commission, countless other agencies, and we're all working together to reach these hard-to-count populations. And the City of Urbana will be focusing on renters and students because that's a big portion of our population.
Awesome. So why does, okay, I know that the census matters. I work here at the City of Urbana, but the people out there are probably going, why does this census matter, Alyssa?
Yes, the census counts everybody. We need to count you, we need to know you're here so that we can serve you better and more efficiently. It's also your civic duty. It's in the Constitution. It says we do the census every 10 years. The census is about redistricting. Illinois can lose 2 congressional seats if we get undercounted. And the undercount would be between 25 and 40,000 people. If we don't count that proportion, we could lose up to 2 seats. And last census, that was the estimated undercount in Champaign County. So it's really important that we have everybody here counted. Wow. And the data from the census is used to make informed decisions. So city employees rely heavily on census data to write future plans for our community, or to make plans for how we serve people, whether it's infrastructure or emergency services. But our data is only as good as the data we collect. So we need to have good data so we can properly serve everybody living here. And we could lose up to $1,400 for each person not counted. The federal government gives billions of dollars every year back to states, counties, local governments, and it's based on population. So if we have an undercount, we will not receive enough money to adequately serve.
Yes, and that is not just one time. That is for every year in that 10-year period. So that's 1,400 times 10, which is $14,000. So, and as our mayor said, Mayor Marlin, she said that we're paying federal and state taxes. That money that we pay should be allocated back to us in services and all kinds of programming. So it only makes sense. So, okay, Alyssa, how can people in the City of Urbana, how can they help?
First of all, talk about the census. Tell everybody you know the census is happening. You count here in Urbana. You need to take the census. That's number one. Word of mouth goes so far. And if you speak another language, please communicate to others who also speak that language so we can continue to fight those language barriers. Also, you can apply to be a census taker. It pays $20.50 an hour in Champaign County. You get paid every week. It's flexible hours, and there's different types of jobs. Some of it might be door knocking, and some might be a little more office type work. So you can apply for the census online, 2020census.gov/jobs.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Alyssa. Thanks for being with us today and letting Urbana know what's going on with the census. Now, we need you to be counted. If you live here in the City of Urbana, we need you to count here because you know why? It's all about you.